All right, so you should have started off doing your warm-up, defining the words that were listed, and then you should have watched the video. Hopefully that video helped clarify the differences between functions and relations. There is a difference, and it's important that you understand them. So let's just do a quick review of the stuff that you've already gotten down, and then we're going to move on and do a couple more vocabulary words that are going to be important for our next topic. Okay? So first one is expression. An expression contains one or more numbers, variables, and operations. So you'll notice that in an expression, you do not have an equal sign. An expression does not tell you what it is equal to. And that is the main difference between an expression and an equation. An equation tells you that this expression is equal to this expression. So it is a mathematical statement that two expressions are equal. So you will never call something an equation if it doesn't have an equal sign. And then similar to an equation is an inequality. An inequality again uses the expressions, but this time instead of having an equal sign, it's going to have an inequality sign. And the inequality signs are less than or equal to, less than or equal to. So you will see those, and we will be working on those right after we start solving equations. The next step will be solving inequalities. So just keep in mind the differences. We have an expression that doesn't have an equal or inequality sign. We have an equation that always will have an equal sign, and we have inequalities that will have an inequality sign. Okay? And then the other main thing that I really hope you got from the video is the difference between a relation and a function. So a relation is a set of any ordered pairs. They don't have to have anything in common. There's no special rules to it. It's just things that are related to each other, relation, okay? And then a function has a specific relation, okay? It's still a relation, but it's a special one. And it's one where for every single input value, there is only one output value. And we will discuss this further, but these are important foundational things that you need to know before we get too far into this stuff, okay? So hopefully all of that was clear from the video and from the definitions you made. Feel free to add to those definitions. If something that I just showed you sparked something in your brain, feel free to pause, rewind, watch it again. But make sure that your definitions are complete and that they're written in a way that you understand them, because that's what's important right now, is that you understand, okay? All right, I'm gonna go over a few more vocabulary words. It's up to you if you want to write these down. They should be pretty familiar already. You did a lot of this in your past math classes. So I don't think it'll be anything new. But again, if something gets sparked in your brain and you need to write something down, please add it to your notes, okay? So we're going to be going into solving equations. That'll be our next unit. And when we solve equations, it's important that we understand what we're looking at, okay? We just discussed what an equation is. So equations can be broken down into parts, okay? So the first part that we're going to talk about is a term. A term is a number, a variable, or a product of number and variables. Terms are separated by addition and subtraction signs. So if I had 2x plus 7, 2x is one of the terms. I look at my addition sign as sort of a wall between the terms, and then the 7 would be my second term, okay? It's important that you understand what the terms are. The next word that I'm going to talk about is variables. So in the definition for terms, the word variable was used. A variable is just a letter that we use to represent some unknown number. And we can use any letter. You'll see X a lot because it's just a common one that's used, but any letter can be used to represent an unknown number. Okay? The next one is coefficient. The coefficient is the number that is multiplied by the variable. So in this example, here the 6 would be the coefficient because it is multiplied by the variable f, okay? You can see in the 3x, the 3 is the coefficient. So the number that is multiplied by the variable is called the coefficient, okay? And then we have constants. Constants are numbers that don't have a variable at all. It stays the same all the time because it's never multiplied by anything. So if I have x plus 5, 5 is the constant, and nothing's going to happen with 5 besides getting added to something else. It's not going to change. It's not going to be multiplied. So a constant does not change, does not have a variable attached to it. Although it can be in the same expression as a variable, it would be a separate term. And the final one I want to talk about are like terms. We're going to be doing a lot of simplifying, and it's going to be extremely important that you're able to pick out like terms. Very simply put, like terms have the same variable raised to the same power. Same variable raised to the same power. So if I have a 6w squared and a 7w, those are not like terms because the 6w is squared, whereas the 7w is only raised to the first power. So the variable and the exponent have to be the same in order for terms to be like. I hope that is clear, and we will continue to use all of this vocabulary as we go on through the year, so make sure you're real familiar with it. I hope y'all see my background. My daughter came up and wanted to give y'all some inspiring words, so there they are, and we will continue on now.